parties. I don't like small talk, I'm always leaving early. Then I met you and my eyes changed. And now you're in my eye range, I'm gunning for you. You changed my heart in a big way. Now every day's a celebration, and I wanna say it's just that I wanna change and go in your direction. God, you're a laser beam, you're on my teen dreams. And if I knew you in school, you'd be too cool for me. Then I met you and my eyes changed. And now you're in my eye range, I'm gunning for you. You changed my heart in a big way. Now every day's a celebration, and I wanna say
All right, all right. Welcome, everybody. We are back once again. It was a very quick week, but a week filled with much bullshit for me. Uh, as, yeah, lots of stuff going on and very little time to do a lot of it. But we are here anyway. Nevertheless, we persist. And we are here once again. Baki says the intro is very long, and I say it's the vibes. We got to start with the vibes. We got to start with our jamming out. We got to start with all of our songs, many of the songs from our popular franchises and in popular media, so that we can get into it all right here on Wow Wednesday. Greetings, travelers, whiz kids, and word players. It is Wednesday, which means it is Wow Wednesday once again. I am Wizard of Wordplay, the Wow of Wow Wednesday. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone in the chat. To start us off, we have, of course, Baki and Victor the Lore Seeker. Welcome. Swan dropping the coup, the very first thing. Welcome, everyone. We have a show that is been months in the making, as we have been anxiously anticipating the newest trailer, the proper trailer for Avengers Doomsday. And we have finally arrived on this day, this Doomsday day. Not only do we have that, but we have a few other Marvel news, as Marvel is packing up and leaving. That was a big shocker. Moving to a different city, different state altogether. So we will go over all of the implications of that and what that means for Marvel's future, as well as possibly talk about DC's newest mobile game, which should have been a proper AAA game. Let's be honest. Possibly some video game talk, and as always, our movie and TV news. With even some God of War, some sad God of War TV show news. So all that and more coming up later on in the show. But first, we have to talk about my week, which so far is exactly the same as it was last week, in which I played some GTA 5, still enjoying the nostalgia from that. Played some Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, still enjoying the nostalgia from that. I didn't get to play a lot of it, though, because GTA is more like, I feel like I need to get GTA done sooner. But I also do need to get Assassin's Creed done because I got to do a review. I got to do a lot of stuff, and that tires me. I am tired, chat. I am mentally exhausted. The comic work has been multiple bumps in the road. That is very annoying, because there is always something that comes along, no matter how much I think that I've had it figured out, that I've got a plan, that it's due to be going in a proper way. It is not, as either production stalls or money troubles arise, in which it's that there's stuff to buy, and not necessarily that I can't buy it. It's just that it's a big investment to have, and so it makes me think, like, well, do we need this? Do we not? You know, the dream of wanting to launch the name and everything on the right footing versus financially viable, in the sense that the comic that's going to come out, the one you're all going to see first, is going to be like free. The lowest price is going to be $0. So, do you want to invest a lot into it? It's difficult. It's a difficult decision. Because I know once I do, sunk cost fallacy will kick in, and I'll have to keep making comics. I will. It's just nature of the beast. So, as always, if you care about independent comics or great stories or anything to do with that, do not forget to drop a tip or subscribe for a monthly membership, which gives you exclusive early access to many of the comic in its early development and future things down the line as I create them. Please feel free to give me a tip or a monthly membership on Ko-fi, which any amount that I receive goes into the comic fund. Goes into the comic fund to finance any and all production for the future. Starting Artists is here. Says, "Hey Wizzy, welcome." Yeah, so comic work just been taking most of my free time, and where I don't even have time to play games, and when I do get time to play games, I just hear a voice in the back of my head going like, "You're wasting time." So, and then I do sit and I just don't move as much I don't move as much production wise. So it's really annoying. I wish that I could draw fast. I wish I could draw faster and not care what it looked like. Like Pirate One, yes. I wish I could just I wish I could be shitty, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I wish that I could just be bad. And even though my art is not to the level that I wish it were, it's gotten so much better that it's like, God damn it. In like 5 years, when we're established and I got probably multiple issues and who knows what, it's probably going to be like decent. And that bothers me because, like I said, there's a certain, a wise YouTuber that I used to watch once said, there's a certain nobility in giving up. And the boy is giving up, not it's a great time when you can just abandon something. So, but nevertheless, we continue on. We continue to fight through all of the boredom and the doldrums and the procrastination as we are determined to bring you a great comic that you will all be privy to information on sooner than you'd think. And for real this time, I mean it, because the way that I have it worked out, you're going to get something this fall, come hell or high water. You will be getting it. So regardless, that continues to be the weekly Wizard comic update, and hopefully everything moves smoothly from here on out. Smooth sailing is what we want. No rough seas ahead for us, but what can you do? What can you do? One thing I did do today is I got to play around with pixel art for the first time using a pixel art website. And it's pretty fun, pretty easy to do. That if it wasn't for the fact that I had to make comics, I would have a lot of fun making like little pixel animations. And yeah, it'd be fun. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Ask Starting Artist. you asking me? Because I know it's a joke, but do you want me to feed into it first, or I'll just let you do it. You may think it's R, but his first love is the sea. Exactly. That is correct. I do have plans to use one of the many pirate-related dad jokes in something to do with the comic, like probably like, and you'd flip through, because for those that don't know, the comics that I'm gonna make are gonna have a lot of Silver Age, Golden Age style to them, because I love it so much. And what I would like to do is have some type of like page, just insert page, just be like, yeah, here's some jokes, here's a fun little fun little joke page, because some of those books back then, they do something like that, they'd have something fun like that in there. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And I have that one, and there's another ones that I had too, that I had screenshotted from a dad joke website that I was using. But yeah, and then the ones yeah, some good ones. So anyway, like I said, the comic stuff will continue. The link for the Ko-fi is in the chat. As I said, any and all amounts given. We already have many people in the chat that have given already, and all of their generous tips have been pooled together. So all of them coming together to help defeat the enemy that is the maliciousness of procrastination and doldrums. So much like the coming together of the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday, the grand culmination of years of MCU, of Marvel, really, storytelling, as the grand joining together of the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the Avengers, most of them. And finally, as we've talked about, the movie that truly we've been waiting for all of our childhoods, the movie that features all these characters, the Ultimate Alliance movie that I remember talking to my brother about, that I said they'd never make that movie. They can't make that movie. They legally cannot make that movie. But here they are, finally making it. Now, there is an absent Sony acquired character, but rumors abound that they are in it, just not played by Tom Holland. But regardless, I have not seen this trailer. I've seen shots from it, and people have analyzed it to death. But otherwise, I have not seen this. So let's break this down, going over everyone's look, costume, characterization, anything we can find. Tear this thing to shreds like we are, Wolverine to Cyclops and Jean's happy relationship. Let me just first see that everyone can hear this.
Something's coming.
Just double checking. All right, you can. Okay. So let's look at this here. Of course, we have the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters sign, discarded, destroyed, in ruins, as it often is in these X-Men movies and X-Men various media. But nevertheless.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
So I know that people were talking about the voice They're like, yeah, the voice, people are like, I didn't even hear that was Downey. You can hear it in the first couple seconds, but he's putting on a pretty good accent. It's like, all right, they're giving us the accent. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of adaptations, they just do like a nice grandiose voice, which is always good. For Doom, we have Doom here. We've seen what he looks like a little bit already. Talking about the incursions. It's like, is he gonna be the Doom of the X-verse, of the Fantastic Four verse? As we've talked about, why is Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four First Steps universe? I've argued with Jessica about that. That doesn't make sense because Tony Stark should not be alive in the 60s, but moving on.
We shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
The voice is good, I will say. I do like it.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died.
So I did see shots of this with the team up of everyone, and just how like Thor's just like, all you guys are just bums. Like he used to have some killers on his roster, he used to have some. It's like he's like, he doesn't know who these guys are. He doesn't know who these guys are. He doesn't know who these guys are. Like he was gone. I mean, he at least knows Ant-Man from Endgame, but he was barely paying attention during all that, and he doesn't know Falcon at all because Falcon was snapped. So it's just funny. It's just like Thor. If they play into that, then there's some interesting stuff they can do with that. That Thor is just the only one here that knows everyone, or he doesn't know anyone, and so these are new people to him. So there is something there to be said.
Us put together, and they died.
Namor's new suit. I saw some people complain that they removed his like Aztec from him, but also like it might have been uncomfortable for the guy to be in too. Let's be honest, but no, I think it's a nice outfit.
They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one.
So I did see that it's like, oh, Thor's like, oh, Doom's so scary. So Beefy Bites is here, says Doom. Hello everyone, dropping in to say hi and drop a like. Thank you, Beefy Bites, for being here, and thank you for dropping your like. Be like Beefy, everyone, and hit the like button. Yeah, so Thor being like, oh, Doom is so scary and stuff like that. It's as the number one Thor fan here, like it is a bit rough to be like, Thor's bitching out, but it is what it is, and he's he might not be necessarily talking about Doom. He could be talking about the incursion that's happening. We don't know what's going on here. I mean, he's in this area with the red skies and destroyed statues and stuff. And then we see Cyclops bursting in with his great Jim Lee suit. It was pointed out he did need the shorts, the underwear, or at least the yellow gloves. But regardless, it's a good ass costume. I hope he gets some cool scenes. Shang-Chi fighting Gambit, bro. And I saw Channing Tatum getting some hate online for being Gambit. Like he was a joke character in Deadpool 3. Why is he now because people liked him. People liked Gambit. Channing likes being Gambit. And I thought he was all right. Now that doesn't mean that when they reboot, he doesn't have to still be Gambit. But I think it works for this whole like Fox universe tribute piece. It's not like all these guys who are playing these X-Men are going to keep playing them after they do the reboot. Like they'll recast and you'll get a different looking Gambit. You'll be all right. You can wait till then. The guy's got the physicality. He's got the star power. What else can you want?
Everything that they sacrificed will be for nothing.
Loki just hanging out. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, from where they set up after his season 2, I just wonder what that means. What he's here for, to really just be like, yeah, this is the incursion that's happening. Because as the quote unquote god of stories and this guardian of the multiverse or whatever he is he in charge of what happens? Can he stop it? How's that work?
Nothing. If we do not stand together.
The Wakandan So I thought they were gonna go to Wakanda to meet the Fantastic Four end up in Wakanda. Doesn't look like to be the case. They might end up in New York. That's why the new Avengers are here. And then they meet the Wakandans. Interesting. But I like that it looks like they held back the sea in order to meet for whatever reason.
Put aside your petty squabbles.
Mystique returns, and people have been giving her costume shit. And I kind of agree a little bit. I understand why she didn't want to be full covered blue again, because the makeup and all that. But there's other ways to do this suit without having blue over the arms like it is. They could have just done bare arms and just had a tight blue suit and then long white gloves. You could have done it without having a whole paint her. And this hair is just not it. Straight up just not it. This weird ass Karen haircut. Mystique has Karen haircut, but she doesn't have it like this. This is Captain Marvel bullshit. So and some people were saying what if she would have turned into Natasha and to beat Yelena's ass? And they're and I'm like, how would she know who that was? That was clocked that right away. That would have been dumb. But it's cool to show off the powers. Is she gonna take Yelena's spot now, or what? Or is this just I'm gonna turn into you to beat your ass thing like Mystique does? But I mean, it's good seeing her back. Why is she here? I don't know. Is she an X-Men now? Because she shouldn't be. She should be a villain, but also she should be dead if we're talking about the full Fox timeline. So fuck it.
I presume nothing except this. If you return.
There's Cassie. Remember her? Even though they changed her actress that third time in the movie nobody watched. And a lot of people, of course, making jokes about the fact that will Ant-Man reference the fact that he met a bad guy called Kang in his own movie that got erased from all time.
You will return.
Johnny holding Sue here, which some people pointed out, this looks like literally the end of the movie. This is the destruction of the universe or whatever's happening here. So pretty crazy if that made it in.
Brothers and
Sue looks great. Fucking just great. Even she's wearing the coat changes a lot. It adds a lot to the suit. But just Vanessa Kirby is just the perfect Sue Storm. She just is. Just that little bit. It's God, Sue's so great. We got Sam here. Captain America, of course. And luckily no one will come by to undermine Sam's first Avengers movie as Captain America.
Mark my words.
Doom with the block parry. So one thing I do want to talk about, I don't know if I talked about when I went over the concept art. Thor with the short hair again was definitely a choice because he specifically in Ragnarok did not like his hair getting cut. So why is his hair cut again? That's kind of dumb, shouldn't he have his long hair again? That was the whole point. He had it in Love and Thunder. Maybe the Russos just don't like long-haired Thor. I don't know why. truth be told, I don't much think the Russos like Thor much anyway, and I could probably do a whole Thor's Day stream on Russo Thor and how they characterized him. I mean, he's got good moments in Infinity War, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, so Thor being used as the omen of Doom once again, right? Like, Doom is too cool, we can't beat him, And but like I said, we don't know, is the threat Doom? Does Doom have a device of some kind? We don't know what the actual problem is, so we'll have to find that out. Is this Doom that we're seeing here after he becomes God King Doom, and they're just CGIing his robes to be green when they're actually going to be white? You don't know.
We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
So Steve Rogers, of course, we knew would be back. A lot of debate about this here Steve online on whether or not is it him? Is it Loki? Is it a Skrull? Is it Hydra Captain America? Is it evil Captain America? Well, I think the fact that he lifted the hammer tells you right away that it's not that he's a normal ass Steve Rogers. I think really it's that just Chris Evans didn't want to do a whole lot, didn't want to cut his hair, didn't want to. I mean, damn it, we have long hair Steve and short hair Thor. That you can't have that. But they probably just wanted to recreate the Infinity War moment. That's really all it is. But we also don't see much of Steve doing anything. Even in the concept art, he's just in this fit holding the hammer. Is that all he's going to do? That's kind of lame. Not going to dress him up as Nomad, not going to even give him the hologram shield, not going to give him anything. Just going to have Mjolnir. Like, he's not really known for that. He's not really known for being a wielder of Mjolnir. Even so, he's got it, but he doesn't have the power of Thor. He should get a whole ass suit. But you don't. I don't know if this is some evil variant. I think that would be very dumb to do that. To somehow be like, nah, see, he's evil because also Doom is evil Iron Man. Like, I don't know. I think it's too much to try to swerve the audience. Because already people don't trust him. It's like, oh, he's suspicious. It's like, no, they just think he was dead. We saw that he grew old, but still, I think the world just thought he died. So, and we'll get to Steve more later here. Too bad it wasn't 12/21, right? Is Doomsday. Too bad it's not 2012 anymore either. Yeah, 4 months, 27 days. Yeah. So that was the first official trailer, finally, of Doomsday. And like I said, the internet has been talking about it to hell and back. Lots to show, lots to talk about, but also not a whole lot in there as far as like what we're going to be dealing with. But we got to see Doom. We got to hear Doom. Still questions in the air about what he is. Is he evil Stark? Is he just so happen to be played by Robert Downey Jr.? Is it what, So there's that, but we do have this other tease here. This poster, this art of Doctor Doom against this tapestry with his mask off. And it shows what appears to be, some people said this was Sue, and Franklin. And that's that Doom's whole plot is that he's trying to get his family back, because in his universe, he had Sue and Franklin, but after Steve took the stones back, it caused an incursion that erased his timeline. And that's what he's after. And so he's mad at Steve, and that's what the plot is. Now, looking at this more now, it looks more like this is his origin. This is the mom, and this is young Victor. But I'm not too sure. But it would make more sense because it'd be like the history of Doom. Down here's like Mephisto or something. There's something to that. But we see this possible Earth here, and then these other Earths. I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of Doom really hates Captain America. That's not what he's about. He hates Reed Richards, for God's sakes. Now, if all this was the reason for him to hate Reed Richards, and that's cool, but I don't know. I just really want him to go against Reed. That's the whole feud. Richards, that's his whole gimmick. And the idea that he really hates Steve. But also in the same vein, this isn't a true Doctor Doom. This is Robert Downey Jr., Robert Dooney Jr., Robert Doomy Jr., whatever you want to call him. So this isn't a true Doom. So we're not necessarily you could be mad he's not Romani. Yeah, you can be mad he's not hating Reed Richards, but that just means we're going to get that. I don't think that this is going to be the last movie. When we know it's not going to be the last we see of Doom, because he's going to be back in Secret Wars, I assume. But I think that what they're going to do is they're going to introduce a new Doom when they want to do a Doctor Doom Fantastic Four movie. I think they'll do that. I don't think we're done with Doom. I mean, he always comes back, and he's always a problem. So yeah, so that is the news of Doomsday, but it is not the rest of the news with Kevin Feige, who recently sat down and did an interview for Spider-Man Brand New Day, where he was asked rapid fire questions. And he was asked, one of these things was about Blade and the other was about Secret Wars. So let's see what he's got here.
How much time in therapy have you spent talking about Blade? This poor project. We just need to get this done, Kevin. How are you doing?
Therapy. Should we get into a therapy session?
Yeah, lie down. I mean, we all want it. Mahershala wants it. How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling very excited that we got Wesley
He's just dear God, don't ask me about Blade.
back for a time in Deadpool and Wolverine, and like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala.
I just, that's so candid for him to just go, I feel like a gigantic loser and failure. Jesker's here. Hello, Jesker. Starting to think Tony is a Doom variant rather than the other way around. I think Kang sent Tony as a baby to America to prevent him from becoming Doom and getting in his way. I saw a theory that said that the scene that from Endgame when Iron Man talked to Howard is what created the branching Doom timeline, because they took the stones away. Steve goes back in time and brings it back and causes a kerfuffle. Yeah, something to do with that. I saw something. I don't know what they said. I just saw the thumbnail, and that's what I extrapolated. But definitely the what is Stark Doom, what is Robert Doomy Jr. all about is the biggest mystery going into Doomsday that I'm going to be interested. I'm not sold on it yet because I think it's too odd. You know, there's too much. They can do something interesting or they can do something very lazy. And I think the lazy way is to just do it's evil Tony Stark, who was just evil. He never turned good. He never stopped being a weapons guy. He's just evil. You know, but why is he European? You know, so anyway, so Kevin Feige says he's a gigantic loser and a failure. Unbelievable. But it's true. All you have to do to make a Blade movie is put the guy in leather, give him a sword, and have him kill vampires. That's it. It's an easy plot to write. Easy as shit plot to write. Just vampires. What do you want? Who do you want the vampire to be? Want to be Dracula? Okay, it can be Dracula. Want to be Deacon Frost? Okay, it's Deacon Frost. You want to just find some random obscure like female villain? Boom, there you go. You want to find you want it to be diverse? We've got Chinese vampires, got Japanese vampires, got African vampires, got all these different vampire lore that they made characters about for Marvel. You know, just do that. It's not hard. Figure it out, people.
Get off the ground with Mahershala.
Is there a world where Secret Wars is 2 films?
Not this world.
So Secret Wars is good. Which is weird that he asked that. I'm pretty sure we always knew Secret Wars was going to be one movie. Maybe that rumor was jumping around, but like, it's people. Do people think that Secret Wars is Infinity War? No, Doomsday is Infinity War. Secret Wars is the end game. That's the follow up.
No. Okay. Doomsday sticking to its release date?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. What does the MCU look like in a nutshell coming out of Secret Wars? Is it do you consider this a reboot?
No, but I look to the comics as I always do in terms of our storytelling, and after both the Secret Wars, but particularly the Hickman Secret Wars from 10 years ago, there's a nice roadmap to where we can go.
So that's what he has to say about the Secret Wars reboot. And he is correct in the sense that you're not really doing a reboot. So the rumor we've talked about before, they're going to do a reboot after Secret Wars, or and I think they will to an extent, but I think it's not going to be a true reboot in the sense that people were expecting originally. I think they're just going to do an incursion. They're going to slap the universes together, and they're going to be like, all right. All of that stuff happened, but also didn't happen. So there are mutants now in this planet, and the X-Men exist, and all that stuff. So that's done. Spider-Man exists. Here you go. The actors that didn't want to come back have been recast. There's going to be a new Tony Stark, new Steve Rogers, so on and so forth, right? All those movies still happened. We're not erasing them. We're just also making it where movies happened previously. Maybe we'll see more of that. Maybe we won't. So that is I think that's what we're looking at. And I think it makes sense. We'll get the all new, all different. That's when they launched all new, all different, was after the end of the 2015 Secret Wars. And I think that's what we're going to get. I think we're going to see that happen, and it'll be interesting to see the new Iron Man, the new Captain America, the X-Men have always existed, whatever they choose to do. But just be like, yeah, all those movies happen. Because MCU is not going to abandon their sacred timeline, their whole thing. They just are probably just not going to have their multiverse. But they still have to, because they love their multiverse as well. Like, if you do an incursion at the end of Secret Wars, does that erase X-Men 97? Like, no, it shouldn't. The universe that they go to has a lot of X-Men 97 influence, but we already see one big reason why this isn't the X-Men 97 universe. It can't be. So, if you've seen the new season of X-Men 97, you already know. But it will allow, like they said, they can finally bring everything together, and they can start on the right foot. If there was shit that happened that was not received well, they can just ignore it. Like, yeah, didn't happen. Who cares? Yeah, we didn't like introducing Scar the way that we did the end of She-Hulk, so we That didn't happen. We didn't like what we did with Hulk for Ruffalo. We made him the way we made him. We can go back and do proper Hulk now. Whatever happens. And I think that's a good spot to do it. Not necessarily erasing what they did, but keep erase the things you didn't like, and we can do it over again. So that's what I say. Welcome to the stream, Dominique, Mason. This is Marvel Legends Avengers Doomsday. So the reboot I think is a good idea, and hopefully it means that, you can reboot all you want, but you got to reboot with some good ass stories. Don't just think that you can just do whatever the fuck you want. Like and subscribe, says one. That is true. Like the stream and subscribe if you have not already. We unfortunately lost a subscriber over the week, as I said we would when we went up, finally crossed to 160. So if you are watching and have not subscribed, please subscribe to bump us back over 160. Fight the tide of progress that continues to stop me from having over 160 subs. Be the rocks on the eternal shore that the waves crash against and are broken. So, anyway, we also had some news coming out from Ryan Reynolds, who says that new Deadpool movies will still happen. That there's plenty of deep cuts that they can make from the comics to put into film. So, Ryan Reynolds is, of course, excited to play Deadpool, especially now that he's in a bigger sandbox, having access to many more characters from the wider Marvel comics, as well as the fact that those Deadpool movies make a bunch of money. Disney's okay with doing a lot of the R-rated comedy, and so he's happy about that. Marvel's happy to make the money. So, and the Deadpool movies have been consistently good. So I know some people have kind of turned on Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's people just like to be hating out there these days. Jessica says Doomsday and Secret Wars need to be the conclusion of all Marvel live action films up to this point, whether it be from Sony, Disney, or Fox, then reboot with one combined universe. Well, yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, but they're not going to erase what came before. If he's pulling from Hickman's Secret Wars, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to just be like, okay, all this happened, and we're just going to tell stories now. And maybe we'll just do some connecting plots. Some people said that they could even bring Kang back and just wait. Hunter asked, did you see the Clayface movie trailer yet? Not yet. We'll be getting to that shortly once we get through all this Marvel stuff. It was a recent drop onto the timeline, but I was able to add it to this show. And and I've been critical. I've been critical of old Clayface because there's been some talk, been some stuff shown that's okay, I don't hate it. We'll get to it. But yeah. And still with Marvel news, as they're getting a new editor-in-chief, Stephen Wacker. And will be new editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, replacing C.B. Sapolsky. But most importantly, the company is also relocating its publishing operations from New York to LA after 90 years. 90 years they are moving out of New York City. That's just crazy. I don't know if that's because everyone's just over there now. Everyone works from LA. But it's pretty nuts. It's a major shift, major change for the old Marvel And yeah, so I don't know necessarily what this means for them business-wise, because I'm not that privy to their stuff. But I mean, you can't deny the major change that this is indicative of. So. Victor says Thor gonna take an L from Doom. No, he's fine. No L taking. No L taking will be happening. Ryan Reynolds returned to play Deadpool. Make a sequel or Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or okay, so Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or an X-Force movie. I don't know what they'd do, or if they just do a regular Deadpool movie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've done Cable, they've done Wolverine. I mean, he's had all of his major crossovers. I suppose an X-Force movie would be pretty cool. Get Domino back, maybe get Cable back, but I think Cable will be good if you. The problem is we just didn't know who Cable was. We know now from X-Men 97, but the general audience didn't know that he was Scott Summers, a Jean Grey's kid. And I feel like if they do something like that, it would be better. Roygen's here. Hello, Roygen. Another trailer out there is this Insomniac Wolverine trailer. The story trailer, the cinematic trailer, whatever you want to call it. But we get our first look at a character that we knew was going to be in it, but also some shit that made a lot of people mad. So let's see what we got here. Of course, PlayStation is still the enemy, and a lot of people are not happy with them.
I've lived long enough.
So Wolverine is, of course, clutching this picture here, and the picture is actually what made a lot of people mad. But really, if you think about it, he's preserving physical media, so that's why he's the hero, folks.
Started to blur together. Every fight, every death.
See, look, he really wants to keep his physical media, and these evil corporation shills want to stop him.
Trying to hold on. I can feel it slipping away.
So here we get our first official look at Lady Deathstrike. We don't get to see much out of her, but she is dressed a lot like her comic counterpart, but in very muted ways. Very toned down outfit. I mean, she's got her claws and stuff, but yeah, very toned down. I hope that we get more. We get a boss fight with her or something fun. Liam's here. Welcome to the stream. Where Wolverine stands with discs. So. And the picture that he needed was a picture of him and Mary Jane from the Spider-Man Insomniac game. I mean, truly the power couple that, we needed, but not the one that we knew we did. No, of course, this is Jean Grey, who just so happens to look a lot like the Mary Jane from the Spider-Man games. Because making women in video games is hard for a lot of developers, and they choose to, do this. Liam asks, "How are you, Wizard?" I'm good, Liam. Sitting here with a lot of nerd news to talk about. We just got done going over the Doomsday trailer, and we're very shortly going to go over the Clayface trailer, as Clayface I have been very critical of. So this is the Wolverine from the Ultimate Universe. Yeah, the one that liked Mary Jane. Correct, Roygen. You are correct. But no, like, look at that. Like, that just looks like Mary Jane to me. That doesn't look like Jean at all. But regardless, a lot of people do not like that Wolverine and Jean Grey are, of course, at all interacting. And I tend to agree to an extent. I feel like they could have not had her in this game and saved her for a Cyclops thing. I don't think there's a lot of characters you can put with Wolverine that can work for being like, if you want, like, even if it was Storm, that'd be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's been done before. It's done in the comics on occasion as well, Storm and Wolverine. I'm okay with that. I don't think they needed to do Jean. I think that this is just lazy writing, and it kind of shows that it's like, what, did you only ever watch the 90s cartoon and the X-Men movies? Because it's not the thing everywhere. Like, people don't like it. I mean, granted, the Krakoa era made it where they were sharing Jean, but I don't know. It's just doesn't need to happen. But Wolverine also has a prequel comic out now. Insomniac Wolverine has a prequel comic that kind of sets up the story of the game. I have not read it yet, but I did see some snippets that shows talks about Team X, the team that Wolverine's on with Sabretooth, and before he turns on him. And it also names drops Mr. Sinister's name, Essex. So wonder if he'll be in it as well. Roger says, I always preferred Storm with Wolverine. It just makes sense. If you're going to put Storm with anyone, I don't necessarily if I like the idea of her with T'Challa, but I've never seen it. I've never got to see them interact at all. Now they have her with Forge in the new show, in the 90s show, and it was forced. It was that they did like one episode where they never interacted ever. They interacted like one episode, and then they are in love now. Like, Wolverine and Storm always was better. So.
When that's gone, there won't be any.
Yeah, there we get a better look at her. She doesn't. Her fingers aren't extended. She just has like long nails, which I guess is Deathstrike. But I always liked it when it was like the fingers were fully extended, like in the 90s. She's got the striping on her pant legs. She's got the battle skirt thing, but she doesn't have the headdress. But I believe it's Kelly Hu playing her in this, and I do like Kelly Hu. Kelly Hu is always great.
Be anything left except rage.
So yeah, still pre-order your disc version while you still can, as Wolverine comes out in September. I still gotta get it. Still gotta pick it up. But yeah, so that is all of the Marvel news of the night. Now let's continue on with the third trailer of the evening. The DCU is once again coming out swinging with Clayface, the official trailer. The last before that was just a teaser. This is the official trailer. Will this sell me on it enough? Because I've been critical of Clayface. I think the premise is boring. I think that I need Batman in my Batman villain movie, damn it. And the fact that we're getting Clayface before Batman is a crime. But let's see. Let's see if they can sell me on Clayface.
Show me. Show me. What do you want, Mr. Hagen?
I want my life back.
I know that Feet of Clay is supposed to be like the thing they're going with here with Hagen and being an actor and stuff. So
I know you. You're famous.
It's a tragedy what they did to him.
Boo.
I'd like to volunteer for human trials.
This isn't cosmetic surgery.
Even if it kills me.
So they're going. So this is different. So he gets his face scarred up by the mob, and then he gets an experiment to change his face. And I mean, you'd think that they would have just have done it what the Feet of Clay episode did, and just had the mob dump the chemicals onto his face. That made him Clayface.
Kills me.
But I guess it never did make sense how the chemicals on his face would change his whole body in the way that it did. So
I'll be better off than I am now.
but actually, I guess in the episode, I think he took the whole chemicals later, and that's what permanently doesn't matter.
I'm okay.
You okay?
I'm okay. I feel great, actually.
I have no idea what side effects you'll have or how to treat them.
Sir, the seatbelt sign is on.
We're in unknown territory.
I mean, yeah, you get some body horror in there, but Lean goes, "This is a movie, ain't it?" Yeah, it's the Clayface movie, the newest installment into the DCU, coming this October. The horror movie, DC movie.
What's happening to me?
If you're harboring feelings of anger, you need to let them go.
You want to know how I feel? People I trusted betrayed me. The justice system failed me. They stole my career, my money, my life.
I'm a monster.
I have no idea who you are.
Oh, so we at least get the monstrous Clayface we get a little view of it here. We will be getting the big hulking Clayface, because we did see Clayface already in Creature Commandos, but he didn't act like this. He was very comedic kind of guy. He didn't. But if we see his fractured psyche come about due to this stuff, then I suppose it would make sense. Well, I'll say that I'm not necessarily hype for it. Still on the fence, I would say. Yeah, because, I mean, how scary can it be when it's just going to be a clay guy? Like, yeah, it's body horror, but body horror works best when you got some realism to it. It's just guy's gonna be clay. He's like, Clayface isn't scary to me because you just know that at the end of the day, he's just made of clay. Like, that's not scary. So I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be some action in this, I suppose, when he's getting revenge on people. That'll be cool. And then he's gonna go after the woman that did this for some reason, even though he was the one that wanted it. So not necessarily what he's mad about. At least in Feet of Clay, it was forced on him because it was the mobsters that did it. He's going to have to get his whole shape-shifting thing down. We don't necessarily see him shape-shift into someone else. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we see it here, though. He's going to get revenge on this guy or kill this guy or whatever. Like, it'll be interesting. So we'll see what happens. I'll still go see it because at least October is far enough away that it's like, yeah, okay. Something to do. So, yes, but DC, not to be outdone, has recently announced a new fighting game based on the popular DC KO series of comics. But sadly, it is a mobile game, as DC refuses to do anything that's not a mobile game these days, which is really dumb. So let's all look and see what could be. Angie is here. Welcome to the stream. Says, hello, Wizard. Are you excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day movie? Yes, I am. We have covered it many times here on the channel, and I am excited to see Hulk and Spider-Man. I'm excited to see who Sadie Sink is playing, if it's all who we've talked about her playing on here. Also, did you see the Clayface trailer? We literally just got done watching that, Angie. Feel free to rewind back in the stream just a few minutes and see for yourself. Is it all right if I ask a Star Wars question? Yes, you can, but my friend Jesker would be better off answering it, but he's not here right now. Yeah, I was so hyped for this, and I saw I was disappointed it was mobile only. Yeah, like they really gotta fix their shit over there. Zombie Boy is here. Welcome to the stream, Zombie Boy. So this DCKO mobile fighting game, which was a cool roster too. Everyone looks good. Angie asks, do you think Keanu Reeves would play a good great Darth Revan? And if you watched Maul Shadowlord, do you think that the pink Twi'lek Devon will become Darth Talon? Well, so I don't know much about Darth Revan, besides that he's obviously from KOTOR. But so I don't know if Keanu Reeves would be good or not. I mean, Keanu Reeves is a good actor. I know Keanu Reeves is always thrown around with fan castings that it's just like, oh man, like could be pretty easy to just be like cast any guy as Keanu Reeves, you know? It's like he's always the one thrown around, like, yeah, just any white guy. Keanu Reeves can play him. And then will Devin become Darth Talon? Like, Jessica would know this better, and he's already answered it, but is Darth Talon even canon or not canon? Because if she is canon, then it's like, well, can she not become like Darth? Well, can she not even become Darth Talon anyway? Because there's no Darths anymore. Like the Siths, there's only like there's not gonna be like secret Sith walking around. But I don't know. Jessica says yes and maybe. So there you go. Yeah, like look at that Wonder Woman. Oh, Wonder Woman looks great. And it looks like it's like a team fighter, like all they're doing now. Yeah, it's a tag fighter. Like, come on, this could have, like, DC, stand up. Like, you are, just Marvel's just beating your ass and when it comes to video games. And that used to not be the case. DC used to be the one that was churning out the Arkham games, Lego games. Used to have some shit. All right, a DC Fighters is Baki, but it's a mobile game, Baki. Do not be fooled. It is a mobile game. Like, all this money could have went to an actual develop. Like, it's got Constantine, for God's sake. He was like the most requested character in Injustice 2. DC needs to try harder. Yes, like, could have given all of this money to anybody, any developer that could make a fighting game. Like, we live in a world where Avatar is getting a fighting game. Invincible's got a fighting game. Like, the Invincible devs, if they weren't working on Invincible, could have done this game. Like, this could have come out in like 2 years, made by the Invincible devs, and it would have been great. People would have been going crazy for it, because it already basically just looks like a ripoff of the Invincible game. So, Blue Beetle, you know, I'm just happy Constantine's in it. This is straight up Injustice 2 Blue Beetle, by the way. Like, that is Injustice 2 Blue Beetle with the everything about it. Like, I know that's what he looks like, but still, like, So there's that. Don't forget too, if you are here new watching live and have never subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and like the stream as I cover all your favorite nerd topics, nerd news, and nerdnostalgia every Wednesday night right here on the Wizard of Wordplay channel. I mean, there is some slowness to the combat, but I think that just comes from the fact that it's a mobile game. Like, look, there's Lazarus Pit Arena. Like, everyone looks comic accurate. Like, Starfire's here even. Like, it is just Injustice, but like, look, Doomsday's here. DCKO. Yeah, and then like I said, it looks official, then you find out it's a damn mobile. It's a damn mobile game. Because like here's some footage unedited of the fighting. Some big fingers from Blue Beetle. Like Constantine is a perfect fighting game character because he can do just so much just random magical bullshit. But and then you look at the mobile game stuff and it's like, oh man, like just very stiff. Very stiff, very by the bones repeated combat. Nothing amazing. And you're like, this looks bad now. But that trailer looked good. Like I said, if they could have given us a proper budget to a proper devs instead of just constantly outsourcing this mobile game garbage. The mobile game market is over. All right. Sorry to say it, but mobile game market's done. We're done with all that now. We can't. The era of making superhero mobile games is over. Let's be honest. Can't do it anymore. It's not worth it. Spend the money and give it to an actual game dev, because if you made a good superhero game that wasn't slop, shovelware nonsense, you get good stuff and it can, stand the test of time. And the FGC community is always looking for good games, even if it's DC and they don't necessarily care about DC comics, they'll still play your game because if you have good gameplay, good matchups, stuff like that, they still go crazy for that. So yeah. So it's just gotta do it better. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make proper don't be afraid to make proper superhero games. Because I've skipped over a lot of superhero mobile games because I don't play mobile games. But I don't like to skip over superhero console games. So, like I said, even if it was digital only, that's okay. But you should have made this a regular game. Should have just done it. And like multiverses, maybe they're just too afraid after multiverses. Because even multiverses, it had the sauce and then they took it away and then they reworked it and then it came back worse. So that was just not a good idea. But a character that I don't think was ever added into multiverses was Gandalf. Gandalf. But I tell you what he is added to. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Season 3. And we have our first look at him right here. That sure does look like Gandalf. Or it looks like a wizard, I guess. Doesn't look like Gandalf. But, I mean, what are you going to do? A lot of people still don't like Rings of Power. So I don't know where all this money's coming from, but I don't think that Gandalf numbers are going to move the needle. But I mean, we'll find out. You know, you never know. Could end up being just the thing that was needed. But yeah. More Lord of the Rings news, as Anya Taylor-Joy has been cast in that Hunt for Gollum movie. So, will Warner ever be saved? Asked Origin. Well, apparently that buyout by Paramount might not, or got blocked by the EU or something. So, we'll see what happens there. But I think I saw that if it doesn't go through, then Warner's just going to literally just sell off its assets and properties or something. So guaranteed Amazon buys Lord of the Rings. Guaranteed. They'll do it. They'll not only do Rings of Power, they'll do a whole ass new Lord of the Rings movie. So yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy should be playing Sindar, elf of the Woodland Realm. Wherever... Yeah, Saren, a Sindar elf of the Woodland Realm. So, whatever those words mean. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Still an interesting movie. But yeah, this was the big news. The God of War TV show. We have talked about that since really its inception. Ryan Hurst will be recast as Kratos and will not be playing him moving forward, as he has suffered a major injury. And they originally announced that they were halting production, but now they were just like, all right, let's just recast him. So that's pretty wild. Because I thought that the movie, I thought the cast was good. I thought he was a good Kratos. Thought he looked good. Beard was a little scraggly, but I assumed that this set photo was just the costume test. It wasn't necessarily the hairdress test. It wasn't them filming. Like it was lighting test or something. So, a bit different. It's like, this is a bit odd. But otherwise, like, I don't know who else you get to play Kratos here. I think that this was a odd choice to just be like, well, he's got a major injury, so let's completely recast him. But I guess the machine moves ever forward. Can't kick him out, or can't wait for him to fix it. So just recast him. So now question becomes, who do you get? You know, do you go for Christopher Judge? I know a lot of people want that. Origin says The Rock. Bro, The Rock is box office poison. You seen those numbers coming out of Moana? That movie lost millions of dollars by even having The Rock do it. Where now none of the movies that he's done has turned a profit. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, literally just look up Rock box office, and Poison is number one. There's a Yahoo article, but that was from October. But anyway, there was a recent article that I saw where they were like, just Red Lotus bombed, Red One, that Christmas movie, bombed. The last movie that The Rock was in that made money was Skyscraper. Like, that's crazy to think about. But just basically The Rock trying to pretend he's some big Hollywood star is all he was. He was pretending to be a big Hollywood star. He wasn't actually a big Hollywood star. So, yeah. I don't know who you get, but I don't think there's any shortage of white bearded guys. Yeah, Jessica says Rock is done. He's just not got it anymore when it comes to films. I like The Rock, but it's over. I don't think The Rock ever really had it. Let's be honest. But there are rumors that it's been rumored for a while. I've seen it rumbling online that Marvel wants him to be Apocalypse. They want him to be a Apocalypse for their X-Men universe. And I just can't see that. Him and Kevin Hart, they're making movies together. Yeah, but even those movies don't perform. And even they kind of stopped making those. They stopped making those buddy duo movies. Because Kevin Hart got in that car crash or whatever. And so he stopped working as often. But yeah, so Rock's supposed to be in Sabanur. He's supposed to be Apocalypse in the MCU. And I don't believe that rumor for a second. But ironically, as we're talking about it, there is one person who would be great as Apocalypse. That's Christopher Judge. Christopher Judge would be amazing as Apocalypse. It's just, he's already got the face. You know, he's got that, wide head, and he's got that deep voice, and he's got that gravitas. He can play in Sabanur pretty easy. Like, it'd be great. He was good for VA's Maui in the animated Moana, and he was good in Fast and Furious. Well, Fast and Furious was like 13 years ago. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. They're terrible, says Roychin. Yeah, so Rock was good as Maui, but how much of that was just good voice direction? Like, you should see the clips that I saw of live action Maui. It's like, Jesus, this guy's awful. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. And then he came back to wrestling the time before last was all right, but then he ruined it when he came back the last time. Because the problem is now he's all like trying to use it to fuel his star power and make you think he's still the big head honcho, but he's not. But yeah, like I said, he's definitely not no fucking Apocalypse. They just basically just do Black Adam 2. Like, fuck off with that. But I'll tell you who you could get in your movies, and that's, we've talked about it before, way back when, AI actor Tilly Norwood, who of course does not exist, but is taking casting roles nonetheless, as she has been cast, or this bloody clanker has been cast in Misaligned. So there will be an AI actress in a major Hollywood production. This is really just this. It's a fad, and it's a thing for executives and investors. The regular people don't like AI as much as you would think. And especially in the creative space, it is a crutch and a cancer to your own projects. Let's be honest. The fact that you could not find a damn white woman means you're not trying hard enough. Jessica says, I know I wasn't here last week for it, but I wanted you to know that Adam Driver isn't a terrible choice for Magneto. Yeah, I would just need to see him. But to me, still, like I said in the clip you can go watch, Adam Driver is too young. I feel I need an older Magneto. I need a much older Magneto. Like I said, I think I'd still take Fassbender. But yeah, so the AI actress stars in Hollywood films. But that's not the only people using AI, as it has been found that Netflix, roughly 300 Netflix films and series have been made with AI in some type of production. Netflix says the technology helps deliver higher quality results, speeds up production, lowers costs, and makes certain shots and sequences possible that otherwise wouldn't have been included. So it's not just that it's writing, it's the actual generative AI fueling shots and scenes. Now, luckily, I don't know necessarily if I've seen it in anything, but I haven't watched Netflix stuff. The only Netflix things I've watched recently is the Avatar Netflix season 2, which, Jessica, when you are back, we will have to fight about, as we have talked about before. We will have to fight over our differences and hash it out once again. But I could tell by a lot of the ways the writing, I could believe the writing of Avatar was written by ChatGPT in some ways. As far as like the outlines and how they melded plots together, I'm like, once I read this, I'm like, that would kind of make a lot of sense. I'm going to be honest with you. Make a lot of sense. But I know that they're also Stranger Things' production. They were caught using generative AI in their behind-the-scenes video. So I would totally agree that happened as well. Using it for shots and scenes, that's too far. Can't be doing that stuff. It's just do the real shit. Do CGI at least. Like, pay a guy to spend time making that instead of just doing it for 2 seconds and you burn down the rainforest somewhere in dirty drinking water. Like, fuck off with that. You're Netflix, okay? You have money. This is different than if I was like some guy that wanted to sit there and make my dream project. Even so, if you're making a dream project, don't use AI for it. But yeah, but it's not the only person that's putting over AI. George Lucas says that AI is the future. AI is making it easier to make movies. There's nothing you can do about it. That's progress. It's the future, says George Lucas. It's easier to make movies. George, who has not made a movie in over 2 decades. If George had Star Wars now, he would be doing some AI bullshit with it. Let's be honest. He would. You know, it would happen. You know, you can't stop it, says George. It's the future, says George. So I don't like Hollywood using it, like I said, and I've even been soured on the layman using it, especially for creative projects. Don't just sit there and type out some bullshit and think that means that, you know, you can make shit. Like, you know, it's just put the work in. It's not hard. And if you're George fucking Lucas, like, Jessica says, Lucas is right, though. Humans always choose the easiest, most convenient path. Yeah, but you know what, Jessica? You know what? What did Yoda say on the back of Luke on Dagobah? Right? Is Luke asked if the dark side was stronger, and Yoda said no. Quicker, easier, more seductive. You must not choose the dark side, and you must, it's an easier path to power, but it corrupts you. The dark side corrupts, absolutely. So, can't be done. You know what else is an easily corruptible thing, and that's, especially for Hollywood, that's sequels and reboots. As Nightmare on Elm Street is getting a remake at Paramount, which will just straight up do the same exact script as the original. Wildly unnecessary, as I feel like the movie still holds up. And good luck trying to get someone else to play Freddy, because Robert Englund is iconic. So can't really get somebody else for that. So good luck to them there, but it just shows just the time. I mean, like, we're getting, like, horror especially is getting some brand new original shit, and it's still aces. Good shit. Backrooms is good. Sinners is great. Obsession, people loved, right? Like, do new shit. Stop trying to do reboots. No, horror movies will always work. You're fine. You're allowed to do a new adaptation once every 50 to 100 years, like Dracula. Shit. And even then, not a lot of people are sitting there wanting to remake Dracula. We get a new Frankenstein more often. We get a new Dracula, but like, not a lot of people are like, yeah, let's do a new Dracula. Angie said, my mom said the guy who played Freddy Krueger looks like a nerd in real life. Yeah, Robert Englund looks a little nerdy. So, anyway, yeah. So it's like, don't do the new shit. Like, be better. But still continuing on with sequels, as Shrek is getting a spin-off for Donkey. A Donkey movie will come out June 30th, 2028. An origin story about how Donkey became Donkey. All right. Wildly unimportant, but what can you do? I feel like this is way too long after the fact as well, because this would have been a banger when Puss in Boots came out, but this is way too late. But I suppose Eddie Murphy needs money, so I guess, like, I don't know, but largely unimportant. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it gets worse. Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing had a cool Dracula. That Van Helsing movie has great monsters all the way around. Very underrated movie, that Van Helsing. But yeah, the Disney scraping of the bottom of the barrel, as they are doing a live action Princess Tiana movie. Now, this is not a remake of Princess and the Frog. This is a sequel to Princess and the Frog. A live action film about Princess Tiana. What this means, I'm not sure. Is this a sequel? Is this a documentary? What is this? What are we getting here? It's a very interesting idea, but what is it? What are we getting here? So, yeah, that is, I mean, we'll see, but like, what movie that Disney made would do good with having, like, you're going away from animation, and to really just twist the knife, Disney's doing a live action movie with the character that was their last and 2D animated movie. Like, just twist the knife in the arm. Virgin says about the Donkey movie, I mean, it might be good. There's really high hopes with the Puss in Boots Last Wish was going to be good. Was there really high hopes? I think a lot of people wrote off Puss in Boots Last Wish because of the fact that DreamWorks had been putting out garbage for a while, and especially as far as Puss in Boots Last Wish was amazing. I love that movie. But it was a movie that was a sequel to like a movie that came out like what, 7 years or more, like 13, whatever it was. Puss in Boots was like 2011, I think. This was a long time between movies, but it was amazing. But can you do that with Donkey as an origin movie? Probably not. Plus, we're getting like, this is after going to be after whatchamacallit. It's after Shrek, after the new Shrek, and who knows how that's going to go. Yeah, we've talked about that, but so there's that. One thing that really isn't much of a debate but people were fighting. I saw a lot of tweets about it. It's pretty interesting. There was an argument. I think this was about Marvel Rivals or something. But this guy is dismissively saying, I think I just saw someone say that the Punisher is more iconic than Kitty Pryde. And they're like upset about it, right? They're like, man, you know, like get a load of this guy. Like they're like, someone actually thinks that the Punisher is more iconic than Kitty Pryde. And this led to a shit stir. I was seeing a lot of tweets about this, and this led to debates on who is more of an iconic character, the Punisher, or Kitty Pryde. And to that I say, like, are you stupid? Like, of course it's the fucking Punisher. The Punisher is like a household name. Kitty Pryde is not. Most people only know Kitty Pryde from being played by Ellen Page in X-Men 3. You know, and being the character that's there when Juggernaut says, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. You know, like that's it. That's all that people remember Kitty Pryde for. She had her time back in the day, but even so, like, I think more people remember Jubilee than Kitty Pryde. And even then, a lot of people, Jubilee's not as big of a household name as the Punisher is. The Punisher's skull became iconic. So much so that it got like adapted. Punisher has a movie and a TV show. Punisher not only has a movie, the Punisher has 3 different movies, a TV show, and like that one-shot special they just put out. You know, it has the Dolph Lundgren movie, the Thomas Jane movie, and then the other one, the Punisher Warzone movie. So he's way more iconic. He's been in more movies than Kitty Pryde has. Kitty Pryde's only been in like a handful. So no, and then like I said, this would normally just be a dumb opinion, maybe some rage bait. There's no blue check mark here, so it's just rage bait for the love of the game. But I mean, this 706 quote tweets or retweets, whatever, 258 replies before they locked the things. You know, like this was all over the place. So yeah, it was just really a lot of X-Men fans are really up their own ass these days. And that's really just case in point. The new Spider-Man movie. Exactly. Like, unless Sadie Sink's playing Kitty Pryde, you know, we're in for a surprise. But no, yeah, like I said, a lot of mutant fans are really up their own ass. Kitty Pryde's not even in the damn 97 show. She's a cameo on the board, and they haven't even used her yet. You know, they haven't touched Kitty Pryde yet, so largely, you know, forgettable. So anyway, I think that's our show. We have gone through a lot of the news that I had saved. Yeah, I think that's everything. And we will see what the week brings. Because normally, you know, we would have been like, oh, maybe we'll get that Doomsday trailer, but we got it. We got it already. If you're just joining us now, you know, stay tuned. Or stay tuned for the stream to be over, or for the clip to go up, or even rewind back to the beginning to watch my blind reaction to the Doomsday trailer. It wasn't totally blind because, you know, it was everywhere, but I hadn't actually sat and watched it all the way through. I'll be back next week with, like I said, who knows what, and hopefully more comic production will happen. And as I said, if you would like to contribute in any large or small amount to the production of my independent comic, any amount given to the Ko-fi will fund all of that. But regardless, Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being here. Thank you, Roygen. Thank you, Baki. Thank you, Swan, for being here and saying hello to everyone. Thank you, Angie, for stopping by. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Jessica, for being here in the chat and giving it your thoughts. We hope to have you back soon. Thank you, Liam, for stopping by. Thank you, Zombie Boy, for hopping in. Thank you, Beefy, for dropping the like. Don't forget, before you leave, to hit the like and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Victor, for being here as well. Of course, we are here every single week covering all the important and unimportant nerd talk, nerd news, and nerdnostalgia. We'll be back next week with more. Same wizard time, same wizard channel. Until then, thank you, and I will see you all then.